For the second concept or part that I want to speak about is intentional world and self-identification correlation. I feel like this is very kind of straightforward, and that it's very, I think it's very true that we design. I mean, ours popular with our own design and meaning. Also, symbolic conservationist. Basically, we are socially produced is very, 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 very true. So when it comes to social grouping, ethnicity, or like I guess how like what group you organize, what group you put into, and or like so I may wear a hat, and if I'm wearing it backwards, people may categorize me. Oh wow, I'm ghetto. People may categorize me at, oh, I'm not intelligent, or I use grammar that's not correct, or things like that. And socially produced, and it's like we're put into categories based on like socially. And so how did I get my ideas of life and define myself? Growing up, I knew I was considered Latino, just based off of the creation of ethnicity and forms of different social groups, and just to classify people in certain groups. And that's kind of what we've done, like, I guess, in this world. Like, we just, people were, races were created. We're just people, different color skins, heights, sizes. We're just different people. But to help categorize things, we just made, categorize, oh, this person's black, this person's Hispanic, Latino, this person's from other different descent, all these other different categories is like something we put on. But I knew I was ethnicity. Why? Because that's what I was taught in books. So it's like that power dynamic, right? I guess the privilege, right? The typical person in power is, I guess you could say, like, white people, I guess. But like, so whatever's written in textbooks is what, I mean, in my community, in the schools I grew up in the South Bronx. I received whatever they taught me, and I was taught that I was Latino, so I was Latino. I'm Spanish. I grew up in the Bronx, and my focus and the mentality of what I thought was valuable was not education. Originally, it wasn't that. So I thought education was irrelevant. I thought, I defined myself as somebody whereas being cool and being smart and being intelligent was knowing what shoes to buy on the internet. My knowledge was like, oh, I had a lot of knowledge. He's smart because he knows when the Jordans come out. He knows, what, he knows, oh, what's the best course to play out, what's the best course to play basketball in, and doing good in school was something I always did. For a reason, because my mother really pushed me, but I didn't understand how important it really was, and I didn't really appreciate education. So in my mind, I was a person that I was very double-minded, in that my intelligence did not come from me doing well in school. I always did very well. I transferred from BMCC, 3.8 GPA. First semester at NYU, I had 3.92, but I don't define that as intelligence. I feel like you work hard and you just get the grade. I don't define that as intelligence. I think, so I kind of I've thought of myself in a negative way, and I think that goes back to how I was socially, the symbolic inspiration is how I was socially defined. And that was really like as somebody who's a minority, who's coming in, doesn't know anything, who's coming in out of luck. I did not come through like the HEOP program, but somebody who came because, oh yeah, they might have felt bad or sympathetic, and I'm not at the same level as other students. My knowledge isn't there, my creativity is probably not there, my wordplay, my vocabulary isn't there. I'm forced when I'm speaking intelligently, or I'm being myself, which is myself is definitely being I guess an intelligent person, but I felt like I had a false demeanor. Because of that, I would actually believe a lot of those things. I would actually believe, like, yeah, I'm not intelligent, I'm not smart. I had 3.92, but I got lucky. So I get my perspective is somebody who's of a minority grouping, somebody who may not have this ability, but that is because of the symbolic inspiration of what I was socially produced. I'm socially produced as somebody who, I'm doing good in school, but it's not because I really want to and I want to learn. It's just because, I got lucky and somebody said they go to good school and you get a good job. So I guess that's what my mind was. And I guess it's definitely changed. That's definitely not the case. We are creative in many ways, and I spoke about also I remember one point in class I was speaking about intelligence. What is knowledge? Who created knowledge? Who told us that that we should use words like operationalizing, or have a very sophisticated vocabulary. That is knowledge. It's just a word that somebody made a definition to. Who's to say that that's more intelligent than saying that, wow, that party was amazing, or wow, that party was really, really, really going on, that party was wavy, that party was this, was that. Who's to say what is intelligence? We're having other humans tell us what's intelligence. We're having other humans tell us, oh, that's intelligence, this is not knowledge, that is knowledge. So who's to say what's intelligence? So I guess that kind of questioned my idea of culture, and what is culture, what is this group of people. We're just different people. It's like the being that it's like humans defining everything. I realized, like, if it's humans putting a definition on me, or I'm judging somebody putting a definition on somebody else, then what is anything? What is the rules? Like, what is valuable to me? And I guess that's kind of how I question the culture, or even intentional worlds, and the design of our own design and meaning and many things. I also question my perspective of culture, because people say your culture is like, all right, so I'm Dominican because I was born in DR. I'm Dominican, or I'm Puerto Rican and Dominican, or I'm Hispanic, or I'm Latino because my parents are Latino. We were born in this country. But I question that cultural concept, because if I may have Dominican parents. I say I'm 100%. I'm Dominican American, right, with my parents, because say both of them are Dominican. But yet say I was just born in Puerto Rico, so am I Puerto Rican as well? No, people would probably say, oh no, you're Dominican. You just born in Puerto Rico. So that question is culture, culture consistency changing, the definition of race consistency changing. So it's hard to pinpoint any of these things. So that's self-identification and kind of correlation of the concept and the stigmas I've had to overcome, and how valuable I am as a student. I've definitely have to overcome that, and I realize I am valuable. I am creative. I guess there may have been different privileges other students may have had, different privileges other students may have had, benefits, and I guess they may not have had to go through certain struggles, and in terms of making it or going to a good college. It may not be a job offer really knocking on my door, or stigmas I may need to beat. But I think the key out of all that is just be universal. Be yourself, be genuine, and by all means, I think the biggest thing is not being ignorant. So whether I can appreciate my culture, right, whatever culture is, I can appreciate where I've come from, and say, yeah, we have used this terminology, it's really cool, this and that. But I'm not going to say mine is better than yours, or your language is better than mine, or I'm not going to say, oh no, things will be done this way, or this doesn't matter. No, I'm not going to say that. It's universal. I'll appreciate it, but I also have to know the context of where and how you should do things. So if I'm in a business meeting, I'm gonna have to use what is universally used. And that's intelligence. That's being wise. What's universally used in terms of trying to be success and being professional. So I'm not going to use the language terminology that certain jobs or people may not be respected, or that and kind of if they can understand that, I can't speak of it. So if I'm in an interview, I can't speak Spanish to, or an interviewer, they're not going to understand if they're not of Latino. So I can't hold that against people. It's not being ignorant and being aware of things. So that's my intentional world and self-identification.